So, with keyword research, we are looking for keywords that relate closely to what people are searching for on Google. There is no point in just adding words and phrases which don't relate to what people are actually searching for. Now, it's true, sometimes it's challenging to find some of those keywords that you want to target. And some of the reasons is that if the volume of some of those keywords are very low, they may not actually come up in the keyword research, and that's fine. You can always add them and then see what happens, because sometimes if the volumes are low, under 10 searches a month, then it may be too low for you to add them. But it's your call. But you can just add them as long as you don't add too many, which make your campaign too hard to manage and so forth. I mean, there's also match types. Those will really help you to target searches that you haven't thought of, and just add a few keywords that relate to them, and then if you're using broad match or phrase match, you would still be able to target them. Now, in Google Ads, keyword research is an important part of campaign setup. A lot of people do the keyword research before actually setting up the campaign, and that's fine, and that's a good thing to do. And one way you can do that, I mean, there's a lot of tools in the industry, third party tools you can use to do your keyword research. But Google also offers its own keyword research tool. If you go to tools and settings and go to keyword planner, you can use that and use it to do some forecasting, see what you're likely to spend for those keywords and what returns you will get. So that's a good tool to use, and very easy to use as well. You'll find it easy when you go in there. But within your ad group, there is a keyword research tool as well, as you can see here, and it allows you to search and find keywords to add in your ad group. Now, there's two ways you can do it. You can enter a related web page URL. That can be your own web page URL or a competitor's. Now, if it's your own, for example, I could enter my own domain name in there and then just allow the system to scan and then find keywords that are related. So if I click enter, it will then scan the page and look for keywords that relate to the content on the page. Now, obviously, your pages should be well written and closely related to what you want to promote to get some good ideas. I mean, I'm a Google Ads specialist, and as you can see, there's a lot of results that have come up here, and many of them are relevant to me, and I can always add them and target them. Now, the thing is, when it has come up like this, it brings you a lot of them, yeah, and some won't be relevant, so you can always remove them and so forth. So I could say, maybe let's say I want to just start with, let's say I start with Google Ads Specialist. Now, I just want to show you what match types are so you can understand as you build your keyword list. Now, a good thing obviously is to carry out the keyword research before, as I mentioned, so that you can map out your ad groups and have individual keywords in there and so forth. So in this ad group, I want to focus on Google Ads Specialist. I can change also the name of my ad group to Google Ads Specialist if I want to promote that. And then I can just add other related keywords that are related to that based on my research with my domain name and even with keywords. Now, as you can see, this is just the keyword on its own. And if you look down here, we've got match types. Match types are what control the searches that you actually get. And when it does not have any syntax or anything like that, it's known as broad match. So broad match generally targets a broad range of searches. So you need to be careful with this one, because it will bring you some searches that are not relevant. It will spend your budget. But the good thing is it will bring you some searches that are relevant, but you may not have thought of. So try that one out. However, I always recommend starting with other match types and not broad match. So start with phrase match, which includes your quotation marks like that. As you can see down here, it says phrase match is one with quotes like that. So it will basically target searches which have these words in this kind of order. However, a lot of changes have happened recently, and Google has phased out another match type known as modified broad match. So it's very possible that you're going to get some searches which are not exactly like this with words before, after, slightly differently, different synonyms, different order, and so on. So phrase match has changed, and it's not what it was before. So gotta be careful with this one as well. But definitely one I would recommend you start with. You can also go with exact match. Have some of your keywords in exact match. So exact match is having brackets around that. That generally targets searches that are closely related to this in this kind of order. Yeah, you will get some like Google Ads expert very closely related to each other, and you can accept those. But if you find they're not relevant, you can just select them and add them as negative keywords. So that's something that you can do in your campaign as you're running it. So these yeah, this is how keyword research happens in Google Ads. And if you wanted, you could say, well, instead of your URL, web page URL, you can always do a search with maybe one keyword and see what it brings up for you, and go get keyword ideas. You can add more if you want. There you go. It adds more, and you can scan those and see which ones are relevant and say, oh, that's maybe too broad. You can remove it. And then when you've done that, you can change them to phrase match and exact match. Avoid using broad match at the beginning because it's a bit too broad. However, if you find that when you've done your research and very little is coming up, you should, in that case, test out broad match and see what it gives you. You may find that it gives you some really good words that you can bid on and target, which will bring you those fantastic results and improve your conversion rate. So, this is how you carry out keyword research. This is your first ad group. Then do it for the other ad groups that you're going to create. And as you go on, you will have really tightly themed campaigns and run them effectively that way.